Okay, some of you may have been receiving a message of sorts when you're dealing with linked files, especially if I've set them up. As you can see in front of you, I've got some differences between the CAD file column grids, which I've just highlighted, showing up in blue, and the Revit column grids. I've deliberately moved them to illustrate the point that I'm about to make. Let's take a look at one more thing. As we even have our levels here at a particular distance. But what happens if we modify these levels? So I'm going to take all these levels and I'm going to move them up 6 inches. But I'm also going to change the floor-to-floor distance between all of them. Make them nice, pretty round numbers. Move that up 6 inches. Move that up 6 inches. And that up 6 inches. And, you know, just picking some random values, and I'm done with that. So now remember, in the previous video, we used Copy Monitor for the grids and levels in the structural drawing. So that those grids and levels in the structural drawing would pay attention to any changes in the grids and levels in the architectural drawing. Now, these links can be established between any two models. We can take the levels from the architect and the structural grids from the structural model. A lot of different ways that we can do this. And HKS actually takes all their level and grid definitions and puts them in a dedicated model. So that's one way that they do that. But in this case, I'm just using using these two files as an example. So I've made these changes. I'm going to save to Central. And it's going to be done here in a second. Okay, now I'm going to go back to, here's where my structural model is. Now obviously I have it closed. I'm going to reopen my structural model. And remember, best practice, everyone, always open the file on the server. Always open the central model. Override existing file, which is overwriting your existing local file. Here it is. It says right here, warning can be ignored. This is a little bit misleading. It's not going to cause a technical problem with the file. It's going to cause a design problem with the file. Instance of linked Revit needs coordination review. And you think to yourself, what does that mean? But it says I can ignore it, so I'm going to ignore it. So here it is. You can see I've just got my columns showing up. I have not placed any model information in my structural plan yet. But I'm going to go back to my grid coordination view, and you can see, here it is. I have a difference between my architectural grids and my structural grid. So how do I fix this? What's the easiest way to do it? Well, remember, Revit prompted us. It said, there's some things here that need your attention. So I'm going to highlight my architectural grid, and now I've got this little guy here that says coordination review and it's part of the monitor because I'm monitoring that model to get information on my current model. So I'm going to click coordination review, and here it is. These grids have moved. In architectural building, on the workset A levels and grids, there's a grid object, and that grid is number C, and there even includes an object element ID. It says this grid has moved. What do you want to do? Do you want to postpone doing anything to it? And you can see as I've highlighted this, the two grids in question are highlighted here. If I highlight just that one, and down here highlighted is my my architectural grid. If I highlight my local, then there's my local grid. So what am I going to do? Well, I want to modify my current grid C so it matches what was in the linked model. And here's my other one for grid line B. So same thing, modify grid B. Now at this point I'm going to click apply, and you can see right here the grids in my structural model updated to reflect the changes in my architectural model. There are a number of objects that you can do copy monitor. You can copy monitor walls, plumbing fixtures, obviously some structural elements, beams, floors, foundations, footings, I think. So there's a lot of potential for making sure that your model and the geometry of your model matches the geometry of the consultant's model. So at the moment I'm done with this, I'm going to look at my level coordination, and you can see that I still have some level coordination issues. So I'm going to click on coordination review again. So here it is, all the issues of how all these levels have been moved. And so I'm going to modify the levels that I need to, because I want the levels in my model to match the levels in the other model. And you can see once I clicked apply, that's when the change took place. So there we go. So there's that. So that's using the coordination review part of the Collaborate tool. I could also get to coordination review here and select a particular link. And it's telling me, hey, there's nothing going on, which is a good thing because I just took care of it all. So that's using coordination review. There you go. In the next video, we're going to finish putting together all these views, even though the steps are the same as what we did in the architectural model. So sit tight.